Did you see it? Bitcoin shatters 12,000. Breaking into what I like to call the resistance. But the question I have in this video is, do the Bitcoin bulls have what it takes to defy the gravity of the bears? What's up, everyone? Thanks for coming by Crypto Capital Venture. Hit the subscribe on the way in, and let's jump into the video. This is the hourly chart. I don't spend a lot of time on here, but you can see it, the move that many people been waiting for, the break above $12,000 right in this area. It happened, right? The question is, will it continue? We have targets to the upside, and I want to start here. I do want to start on the zoomed in charts, really answer some question of what's going on and what can we anticipate moving forward here in the hours ahead, even the next day or so. So Bitcoin, I tweeted this yesterday, and I've kind of been talking about this all in this consolidation phase, right? Since we're talking the end of July, as Bitcoin's been getting ready for its next move. There are so many different ways you can chart this. You can remove the wicks. You can chart so many different patterns here. But the one thing that is steady and consistent and remains is pretty much this upper trend line resistance that we've been seeing. So on this particular chart, we have a symmetrical triangle in white. We have a rising channel in green that you see. There's even, you can chart an ascending triangle if we chart more of a horizontal line at the upper trend line. But either way, we have this general vicinity of this upper trend line resistance that Bitcoin on the 6-hour chart has broken through, right? And based on these two patterns alone, we've been talking about that general $13,000 target. So the rising channel, we have a target right around 13,000, and then this symmetrical triangle around 13.5. So really, in terms of patterns, right, and target resistance, we do have this 13,000 to 13.5 range of resistance if Bitcoin is to continue this move. Now, we know when getting a break out of an upper trend line, often we see a throwback for Bitcoin. We don't always know when that throwback will occur. However, when we break through a key area, in this case, really this upper trend line area, right around specifically 12,000, that mental barrier, a throwback to that area is very, I don't want to say likely, but very possible because it happens so often. And that is something we want to watch for now, because if we're looking at the 6-hour chart, what is most important for Bitcoin isn't really necessarily, is it going to hit its target in the short term? What's important now is, will Bitcoin continue to close above 12,000, and more specifically, these upper trend lines here? So even if we get just boring sideways trading, even for a day, even for 2 days, and Bitcoin doesn't hit its target just yet, if we're above this area, 12,000 area, where these two upper trend lines are confluent with each other, even this third upper trend line of an ascending triangle, if you will, that is what is important. Will Bitcoin stay above that area and see support? Now, we will track this to see if we get continuation even after short-term consolidation, which can be evident on an hourly chart. Right here you see maybe we fall into kind of just a falling channel before continuing to the upside later today, early tomorrow. We don't know how this will play out. We track it, we watch it, but that's a short-term scenario. But we're also going to be tracking this $12,000 area, incredibly important. But I wanted to bring this all together to really start zooming out on the charts, because Bitcoin, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, is entering what I call the resistance. And this is huge, everybody. We've talked so much about these two Fibonacci areas, specifically this first Fibonacci, the bull market high to the bear market low. It's that green channel you see right there on the screen, right? So I'm going to chart both of these together. So we have $16,000 to $13,000 or so. And actually, that 618 is right around 13,500. And if we go back to this 6-hour chart, remember, that's one of our targets right now. So we are very close to entering not only a short-term resistance, but we're talking a multi-year resistance. The doorway to the bull market, everybody. We are so close to this happening. Now, if we plant the other Fibonacci retracement from our swing high last summer to our swing low that we had back in March, we have this very small area, 11.6 or so, down to around 10,000. And you can see, I'm going to zoom in. This is the weekly chart. Bitcoin right in between these two areas. So we've broken through this first Fibonacci retracement resistance. We're now approaching the second one, the longer term one. This is a long-term Fibonacci resistance. We're approaching even longer one. So what we're looking for is support, once again, above this Fibonacci that we broke through. And the range that Bitcoin is in right now, we're looking at a range of around 14%. To the upside, we're already 6 or 7% there. Another 7%, everybody, and we will be knocking on those doors of the bull market. Bitcoin will be knocking on those doors. Really, all it takes is this 6-hour target to be hit. Now, going over to the daily, some things I want to talk about. You know, does Bitcoin have the momentum on the daily chart for this to happen, right? Because that's what we want to look at. And we can really just expand and we can open up our oscillators and we can see where Bitcoin is really not even in that overbought territory yet on the daily RSI, this momentum oscillator, very reliable oscillator. If we look at the last time Bitcoin was approaching this swing high area, $12,000, $13,000, huge resistance area being that was the last swing high last summer, you can see Bitcoin before consolidating was way overbought, right? And we came back down. So the answer is yes, there's a lot of upside potential right now for Bitcoin to really break into this entire long-term Fibonacci, that 16,000 to 13.5 area right around here. There's a ton of momentum for Bitcoin to test that. What happens when we test it? Then, you know, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But ton of momentum. And the other thing on the daily chart is this. Now, on this daily chart, what you can see is Bitcoin putting in, let me zoom in here so we can see this better. And let me remove this Fibonacci. Bitcoin just put in a stop and reversal on this current daily candle, and you can see it there. So the stop and reversal, pretty simple. I have this website up. The parabolic stop and reversal is displayed as a single parabolic line or dots underneath the price bars in an uptrend and above the price bars in a downtrend. Meaning if it's bullish, you'll see it appear underneath Bitcoin price. And the basic use of the stop and reversal is to buy when the dot moves below the price bars, signaling an uptrend, right? And we can see that on this daily chart, signaling an uptrend on the daily. Or you sell when the dot moves above the price, signaling a downtrend. Lastly, the major drawback, and here's what I want to bring up. The major drawback of the indicator is that it will provide little analytical insight or good trade signals during sideways market conditions. Without a clear trend, the indicator will constantly flip-flop above and below the price. This type of price action can last all day. So if a day trader relies solely on the stop and reversal for trade signals, in this case, it could be a big losing day. Notice how they're talking about day trading, lasting all day. They're using these parabolic stop and reversals on the 15-minute chart, the hourly chart maybe. We're on a way more reliable chart, namely the daily chart. And if you really just go back, it's not every single time, but majority of the time I would say when Bitcoin's putting in a bullish stop and reversal, usually there's like an uptrend that follows on this daily chart. And you can really see it if you go back and just zoom out on the daily chart, going back for however long you want to. And we just got one right here. So between the momentum that is in play and available for Bitcoin to continue up, and for the stop and reversal signal being a potential nice indicator for Bitcoin, on this 6-hour chart, there's a lot of room for upside potential. This is what I'm looking at. This is the area I'm watching for support. It's very simple, $12,000 area, these upper trend lines, a lot of confluent support there, previous resistance. So let's see what happens there. Those are my thoughts. I'm going to keep tracking this. If Bitcoin makes another move, probably do another video. Appreciate you cruising by today. Hope you're having an amazing start to your week. I will see you in the next video. God bless.